Hi guys, welcome back to Aaron Son Garage. The tale of two Mustangs. The fastback, 72, where we live around here, and our 72 Mach 1. And this video is about putting a big block in a Mustang that I went for over 40 years trying to do. I was 40 years old when I finally put my first big block in a Mustang. And I had been trying and dreaming about it for probably 20 years. And so I bought this great car here, which is a 70 fastback. We like to call Christine. And I said, there's going to be my future big block. There's a car I've dreamed about building. And I bought this car for a song. And it belonged to Kenny Bernstein's head mechanic on Kenny's Indy car. And he lived out in Mount Healthy, Ohio, and I'm from Ohio. And my great friend Richard Crocker, Johnny Morehouse, and Johnny got his cousin involved. And so we had two more houses helping. And I bought this car with two truckloads of parts for, like I said, a song. Got it home, bought a big block off of Bob Martin, 429, big block, 385 series engine. And I went to commence to try to build me my first big block Mustang. And that's been 20 years ago, because I'm almost 60. So 20 years ago. This year, it will be September. Next month, it'll be 20 years ago that I finally completed the actual task. But I had tried, probably 30 years before to build a big block, and this was my attempt. And I put a 429 down in here with the help of Johnny Morehouse, and we had no clearance in the shock towers. There was no clearance in between the frame rails, so the engine could fit down in there and you could get exhaust on it. It was a nightmare. And she got a little 302 in her now, but your gap between your engine and your shock towers, there was no gap. I had no room for putting exhaust in it. So that was scrapped. Didn't get that big block in the 70. We settled for a 302 that we had that was in three other cars. And finally it was in this car, which is a fourth body that engine's been in. So fast forward about 10 years, I come across a 70 fastback, and there it is. And so the engine transmission was missing, so it was kind of a clean slate. I could do whatever I wanted with it. And so I ended up getting another 429, not that one I got from Bob Martin, but another one that I had in a Ford XL that I did some trading with some guy. And I had this big block 385 series 429 cubic inch motor 20 years ago. So me and my son on September 22nd, 20 years ago, we installed this big block. And we put my first big block Mustang together. Johnny Morehouse got involved again. He cut the drive shaft down, his brother Jeff. He did some exhaust to it. And bam, big block Mustang. So then about 10 years after that, I come across a Mach 1. Another 72 Mustang Mach 1. And it's got I believe, Cleveland style engine in it. I believe it's a Cleveland because of that horn right there. That's got a different configuration right there on the block. This horn right here makes it a Cleveland, I do believe. It could be a 400 modified. I'm not positive on that. I have another engine up on the hill that we could go look at, and that'll be for another video. We'll compare this engine to the other engine I have to see exactly, is this a Cleveland or is this a modified 351 Mary 400 modified, they call it. And so you can see the clearance we got in here with the Cleveland style engine. It's still got clearance on both sides. And these engines will accept the big block. And so that's how we did. Look at that belt turned over. That thing would have been on his last leg. That belt would have popped off. Power steering wouldn't work. This got power steering, which is a rare option for these Mustangs. It's a cool option too, because you ain't got to drive it like a truck. But this thing's been wrecked. Aprons are rotted out. It's in pretty bad shape. But I mean, even a Mustang like this in bad shape can be repaired. I mean, you can buy that, radiator support. You can buy that, every single piece for these cars now. And all you need is a shell, and you can rebuild it. Kind of like the $1 Million Man. You can rebuild it. We can make it faster, stronger than ever before. But you can see with a big block in it, it takes a little bit more of that room up and the shock towers. But you still got room. This thing's is like made out like something like a 69 Mustang that was built for the boss. They're stressed way out. It's already built out like that to accept a bigger engine. I believe I could put a 429 Boss in here, or any engine that I choose to put in here. And, you know, God, you know, I dare I say it, you Ford lovers out there, that I'd put a 426-inch Hemi in it. And if I had a Hemi, I would shove a Hemi in this thing just for the hell of it. Our hero, Mike Finnegan, did it in his 55 Chevy. And I wouldn't have as much trouble as he did, because he went through painstaking, you know, shaving the firewall and doing this and doing that. I think it would slam right in there with not much difficulty at all, except for the mounts, the engine mounts. I'd have a little trouble with the you know, not the K-frame, but the engine cradle, trying to get some mounts in. But I could do it. I guarantee you, I got fabricating skills, people. And if I can't do it, I got friends that can. And his name is Scott Wilson, my buddy. So I could do it. I guarantee I could do it. If I can't do it myself, I got a friend I can turn to that can help me build anything on this planet. I got one of the best technical backup supports in the world by the name of Scott Wilson. That's my buddy. So, you know, and he's got friends too. So there's the tale of the two Mustangs. One, I believe, is a Cleveland. I'm pretty sure it is a Cleveland. And the other one has a big block. So I hope you enjoyed that educational the experience that I try to give you guys in my life. Educational, that you can, you know, put a big block in one of these Mustangs, 71, 2, or 3, all the same. So if you get one of these coupe, fastback, Mach1, doesn't matter, get you one, okay? And then live out your dreams. And my dream was to build a big block Mustang. And I did it in this car. And like I said, it's 20 years ago, my dream came true. And this car, I tell you what, this car is frightening. It'll just melt the tire per second and drive. You know, it's an automatic C6. And it's only got a little 8-inch peanut rear end underneath of it. I believe this has got the 9-inch, and then I got another 9-inch I bought from the same guy I bought fastback from, Harold Cox. And we got a rear end off of him, was a 9-inch. For a Mustang, 71, 2, or 3, it was a 73 coupe. It's probably a 325 single tracker. And I don't care, you know, I don't care what it, you know, what's the gears in it, because you can just change the gears. The housings is what's important. And the width of it's the right width from, you know, side to side. The pit underneath that Mustang, I won't have to, you know, get some offset wheels and try to get it to work, you know. But we got our 9-inch, we're going to walk under here and show our great 9-inch we got for that car. And I bought this rear end just for the simple fact that I wanted to put a 9-inch under our 72 fastback. There's a 9-inch right there. Yeah. So you guys can see what I'm going for, you know. Big block, 9-inch, C6, you know. That's what I'm going for. You know, if I ever get it done, I'm probably not going to do it until I break this rear end. Once I break that rear end, then it's going to have to get done, because I need another rear end. I'm not going to stick another 8-inch housing in there. Or I could get an 8-inch gear, and I could swap it out if I break that gear set. But I've never broke the gear set. That 8-inch is pretty tough. So I drove the crap out of that car when I put it together 20 years ago. I drove it everywhere. But the oil pan and the weight of that engine kind of sticks down. And so I need to have like a skid plate. That'll be my next endeavor, because I hit something just playing with it off the gravel and knocked the oil pan out from under it. I mean, I messed the oil pan up pretty bad. So then I had, Johnny Morehouse, my buddy, fix the oil pan. And I haven't, hot rodded it, like that since. But I want to get back to it, so I'm going to have to make a skid plate, fab a skid plate of my own. And I'm going to do that here, and hopefully soon. We've got a lot of other stuff to do first to the car, but that's going to come up. Skid plate on a 72 fastback with a big block. 429, guys. All right, guys, got the 3 hoods open. Sun's going down. And we're going to end it right here with the 72 Mach 1 with what I believe is a Cleveland, because I believe the modified doesn't have that horn right there. We'll do that on the next video. This horn's missing right here. Doesn't have that, I don't believe, on the modified. We're going to find out, though, in the next video. Stay tuned to the next video, guys, because we got a 4-wheel drive up on the hill that's got a 351 Mary 400 in it that Piggy sits up on. Actually, he sits up underneath of it. We're going to show it, but we're not going to pop the hood. May have to battle some hornets or wasps, or we don't know what's going to pop out of there. But we're going to walk over and show the truck. It's got a 351 Mary in it. That engine's locked up. That's in that 72 Mach. And I'm thinking about doing a swap, because I'm never going to do anything with this truck. Thinking about pulling the engine out. And there it is right there. Thinking about pulling the engine out of that truck. And if it is a Mary, and that's a Mary, both, you know, I could swap that motor right in there. So, that'd be cool. I think I could do it regardless, because I can use the torque converter on that engine. And actually on that transmission. If that's a 400 Mary and that's a Cleveland, I just take the torque converter off of that transmission, swap them, and put that motor with that torque converter in the 72 Mach, and that would work. And that's it, guys. So we didn't get this thing out of the hole. It rained the last couple of days. It's dry enough now. Well, I might try it. So, you know, check back for the next video, guys, and have a drink every time I say, you know. All right, guys, we appreciate every one of your, you know, likes and comments, and, you know, like, tag, share, follow us, and check out our friends Actions Auto Parts, Jamie Phillips, Auto Salvage Outlaws, and our favorite friend Scott Speed Shop. Check those guys out, check their channel out, and we'll see you in the next Beamer and Son Garage. Bye-bye.